Live from the Transfer Express studios in Menor, Ohio. Thank you for tuning in to the spring edition of Toast to Transfers, live with your host, Stephanie.
Hey everyone, thank you guys for joining us today for another Toast to Transfers. And this time we are kicking off the spring season with the spring edition. So today we're going to have so much fun. I'm happy that you joined us. We're going to have this nice casual heat printing press along event, and you get to press along with me. So we have the chat up in the up that you can message, ask questions, chat with your other fellow decorators, and definitely use that chat while we're rolling through for the next hour. I already see you guys have found it though. So thank you everyone for coming in. I see Don from California. Hopefully you guys have some great weather out there. Eric from Washington, thank you for joining us. So yeah, I see the chat going. Feel free to use it. Let us know where you're coming in from. And yeah, I already see a couple of friendly faces as well, or friendly names that we've seen before from previous Toast to Transfers. So again, I really appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to have lots of fun today. We have our heat presses. For those of you who are pressing along with me, we're going to get our heat presses set up. I didn't do a quick introduction really quick. I have Nick behind the camera. He's helping make sure everything is filmed nicely, and so you guys can all see it on your end. And then we have Dave, of course. He's on the switcher, making sure that
Howdy.
There you go. Making sure that everything is running properly. And if you are asking questions in the chat, we have Mike that is behind the scenes, and he's there to answer any of the questions that you guys have if I'm not available to see it right away and answer right away. So he will make sure to get answers for you, links to specific products or educational resources if you are asking. So Mike is there. His fingers will be busy, and make sure you guys give him a friendly hello. Okay, so we've got the Toast to Transfer Spring Edition. We're going to get started. I'm going to go through the Toast to Transfers box with you here in a few minutes. Everyone had the opportunity to pre-purchase that Toast to Transfers pressing kit so that we can go together, we can follow along, and I will be pressing those exact same garments that we have in your Toast to Transfers kit. Your size that you chose, you can choose the different t-shirt sizes when you ordered. You have your specific sizes, so hopefully you guys can use these items as awesome samples to show your customers and even to wear around. So I've even got one that I had decorated a little earlier already getting prepared. So before we get started though, I want you all, if you are pressing along with me, to get your heat presses warmed up and at the right settings. So the first transfer that we are going to apply is the puff screen printed transfer. We'll go through the box here in a second, but I wanted you to all get your heat presses warmed up so that it's all ready to go when we're ready to start. So I have my Hotronics Auto Clam here. It's a 16 by 20, and it is on a caddy stand. You can use, of course, the heat press that you have. If you don't have a Hotronics, that's no problem. Still works great. Your heat press is going to need to be set to 365 degrees if you're using a Hotronics heat press. If you don't have a Hotronics heat press, go ahead and set it 10 degrees higher. So you're probably looking at 375. So that will account for any uneven temperature readings that your heat press may have. The Hotronics heat press has that accurate temperature readout. So we know we're at 365 degrees with even consistent heat across our entire print surface. So for Hotronics users, get that up to 365 degrees. Other heat presses, you can bump up 10 degrees higher. And then you're going to set your time. So I always set my time. The first press is a pre-press. It gets all that moisture and wrinkles out of the fabric. I'm going to go ahead and set that for 4 seconds. And then our press time is 10 seconds. All right. So I'm going to get that all time to heat up. Give your heat presses time to heat up. And let's go ahead and we're going to open up the Toast to Transfers kit that you all have in front of you. All right, so we've got a lot of fun springtime events that we're going to be decorating for. It's not spring yet, but it's coming up fast. So as decorators, we need to be prepared. So in the Toast to Transfers kit, we have 3 different apparel items. We have a Port & Company purple fan favorite. It's a ring spun, really soft t-shirt. We also have the same one in yellow there. And then the hoodie that we're going to decorate is a jersey style hoodie. Okay, so you have those in the kit. You're also going to find right on top there a mouse pad. You might wonder why we're going to use this mouse pad, whether we're going to decorate it, but we're actually going to use this as one of our printing accessories so that we can get an even and firm pressure on our heat transfers. And then you'll have the Toast to Transfers pressing kit, or I'm sorry, the transfers and a recipe card for a rosemary lemonade recipe. Delicious. It's non-alcoholic, but very, very simple to make with just your ingredients at home. So we're going to take a toast here in a second, but the rosemary lemonade, keep this recipe card on hand. And this spring and summer, this is going to be a delicious drink to have on hand. So really all you need is water, rosemary sprigs, sugar, honey, some cold water, your ice cubes, and some fresh lemon juice. So really, really easy. You have those ingredients likely at home, makes a really good drink. So while we get started, we're going to take a Toast to Transfers here in a second. So get your drinks ready, get your beverages. And then inside the transfer pack, let's get that out of the way. We have our instruction sheet here detailing all of the types of transfers that we're going to be using, also the apparel styles that we're going to be working through, and also how we designed all of the designs that we're going to be using. So this is going to be your little cheat sheet. It's going to give you the application instructions there at the bottom. So go ahead and take a little review of that. That first transfer that we're going to be applying is the puff screen printed transfer. And that one there is this one. It's white and gold. Now, puff screen printed transfers are printed with a plastisol ink, just like the other types of screen printed transfers that we offer as well. So the screen printed transfers, you're going to feel that sandiness. That's totally normal. That's an adhesive powder that's put on the ink, that plastisol ink, for durability and for the quality of the print. So the puff screen printed transfers, like I was saying, they're screen printed with a plastisol ink. Puff ink currently is available in the white and the black puff. This transfer has this white ink. This white part is going to puff, where the gold is going to be a nice flat finish. So we're just going to keep a note on that. When we do go to apply it, we should have the white puff, and then the gold is flat color. Cool? So this is the puff transfer. It's the one I'm wearing also. It's the in my Mardi Gras era. Love this design. It's one of the new designs that we have in Easy View. And you'll find that layout number QHL 173 on that instruction sheet. So you can customize your own and play around with that in Easy View. Now, that's the puff. So we're going to do that one first. That's why we have our heat press set at the 365 degrees. The next one that we're going to do is the Goof Proof One Color. So this is a goof proof screen printed transfer, very similar to that puff. It's printed with a plastisol ink on an 11 1/4 by 14 inch gang sheet so that you can fit multiple images on the sheet, utilize that whole sheet, and get as many designs on there as you can. So this is a goof proof as well as the Bunny Kisses and Easter Wishes one. Now we have a single color goof proof to show you and also a 2-color goof proof to show you. There is a little bit of a difference in the way that we're going to apply them. Just a couple more seconds for the goof proof with 2-color, but we're going to make note of that for when we go to apply them. They are not applied exactly the same. So keep that in mind and follow along with me. And we should be all good, but they're so easy to do. Now, all righty. How's everybody's heat presses warming up? I'm going to check the chat. Give a little toast, everyone. Thank you guys for being here. How would you order a sheet like that to have a flat color with another color be puff? Great question. So where you go to order your transfers in the EasyView Online Designer, you're going to choose your transfer type at the bottom left-hand side of the screen, and you're going to choose your transfer type to be puff, okay? So there's a selection area. Dave is jumping into EasyView now to show you, but yes, you have your print method, and you'll set that to puff. It's under the screen printed transfer option. And then you have your color options. So your colors, you'll see there are the black puff and the white puff options, and it'll say puff black and puff white. Those are your puff colors, right? So the other colors that are available in there are all flat colors. So you just keep a note of that. And then you will make sure that you're ordering puff, and you have your puff black and your puff white. Okay. Now with the puff screen printed transfers, we have puff white and puff black, but keep a lookout and coming soon, because we're excited to bring on more puff colors for you. Everyone has been asking for more puff colors, so we're excited that we're going to be bringing on more puff colors for you all, not just the white and black. Those are of course included in there too, but we're going to expand our puff offering for you here very, very soon. Keep a lookout for your emails and on social media for that, and we will make sure that we inform everyone about the new colors. 14 new colors are coming. 14. So we have 14 new awesome puff colors in addition to the white and the black puff. So those are coming soon. I don't have those here to show, but I do have a sample for you guys of the white puff with a flat gold so that you can see how those apply for you. Okay. Let's see what else. I'm checking the chat. How's everyone doing? You guys are awesome. Okay, cheers, guys. Let's give a little toast before we get started with the transfers and applying. Let me know what you guys are all drinking too. All right. Okay, you are going to need a pair of scissors. So we're going to take our gang sheet, and now you can play around with this how you want to. There's a couple of extra designs down here at the bottom. So you can trim these off. Sorry, Nick, I'm making you do some camera work here. All right, so you can trim these off, and you can either use these together somewhere on your shirt. You can trim those apart and use them as two separate designs. But we have our gang sheet and you're able to cut off the extra designs on there, use them for another time. But we've got our puff transfer ready to go. All right, we are decorating the purple shirt. While you're using puff, I recommend before you get started, if you have a lower platen cover or an upper platen cover, either, take them off. We do not recommend using them for the puff screen printed transfers, the bottom one. The top one, we actually don't recommend using those upper platens at all with screen printed transfers. So if you do have the upper platen cover or a lower platen cover, go ahead and take those off. we want to make sure that we have just that silicone on the bottom and no cover sheets on our top platen that's blocking any heat. Okay, and yes, Kathy, thank you for asking that question. The white, so when you get a sheet of puff, the white is puff and the gold is flat. Everything on that sheet that's in white is puff, right? So that extra little design that we cut off, the white is puff, and then the gold is the flat gold, okay? So when you order a sheet, your order of puff, if you're ordering the white puff or one of the new colors of puff that are coming, the entire sheet is going to be printed in that color of puff, okay? And vice versa. So thank you for asking that. Good question. Also, I saw this question come through too. The screen printed transfers that we use, they are printed on their own carrier. They're printed on their own cover sheet. You do not need an additional cover sheet on top of these when we go to apply them. You don't need an additional cover sheet on top. The transfers themselves act as their own cover sheet. So you shouldn't need another cover sheet on top of it. So really the only accessory that we needed for these is the scissors, right? So we've got our puff. Are you guys ready to go? You guys are at 365 degrees for 10 seconds. For Hotronics heat presses, or 375 degrees for non-Hotronics heat presses. So make sure you're there. I'm going to go ahead and load up my Port & Company shirt. Now these are available there at Transfer Express Apparel if you're looking for blank apparel items. So the shirt here, you just want to make sure that all of your seams are off of the platen. We don't want any collar seams. And you'll go ahead and pre-press your fabric. We're just going to go ahead and lock it down for 4 seconds. And we're also testing our pressure at this point too. So when you're pre-pressing, we're also making sure that our pressure is good to go. That pressure needs to be a medium to firm pressure between a 6 and an 8 readout on our Hotronics heat press. So when I lock down here, I see that it's a 7, and that's 70 PSI. So we know that it is the right pressure. We want that even pressure all the way across the board. I'm pressing it down again to get through the pre-press cycle, and we're all set to go. Back to our 10-second press. So again, make sure you don't have that lower platen cover on there. That will affect your application of puff. Or the upper platen cover. Make sure you take all of those off. Okay, you ready? Bobby's ready. All right, we're gonna go ahead and align this. You're gonna do ink side facing down. And sometimes to find the center, what I'll do is do a little cross and a pinch at the top of the transfer, just to get that center line. It gives me a little crease where my center is. And then you can go ahead, align it in the center there. And I usually do like a 3-finger check from the collar to the top of the design. And that's going to give you the right amount of space. Okay, so when we're ready, 10 seconds, lock it down. Don't lock it down until you're ready, so take your time. And we've got a 10-second press and a hot peel. As soon as it pops up, quickly go ahead and peel off the transfer paper, and it'll allow it to puff. All right. Oh, that looks so good. Okay. All right, let's see. Nick, hopefully you can see it pretty good. Camera angles and tricks are always really hard to see that puff action. Hopefully you guys can see it because, yeah, it gave a nice little puff. So, yeah, that gold is flat. The puff is raised. It gives a nice, like, raised 3D puffy effect. All right. So, yeah, first shirt done. Now, if you want to, you guys can play around with those other designs on some other locations, even on your shirt. or you can save them for something else, another shirt, and do a little left chest design. But hey guys, these are some extra transfers on hand for you. But yeah, how did everybody's turn out? Let me know in the chat. Give me either a thumbs up, or if you have any questions before applying, feel free to put it in the chat. And we'll make sure before you lock it down, if you have any questions, let us know. Because yeah, if you don't have that, make sure that, again, that lower platen cover is off. Make sure you're at that 365 degrees with a medium to firm pressure. No pillows, no other heat printing accessories are needed, no cover sheets, no thick cover sheet, nothing like that. Everything that you need was that transfer, the shirt, and your heat press. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the puff. And again, 14 new puff colors are coming soon. So make sure you guys keep a lookout for that. Subscribe to our emails and follow us on our social media channels, and you guys will be the first to know. Okie dokie, where are we at? I want to give everybody time. I don't want to push. All right, gold didn't stick any tips. So pressure, definitely. And making sure that, again, your temperature, if you don't have a Hotronix, is raised up, right? Okay. Oh no, ink side up, Shirley. I see it. I see it happened. Okay. Oh, did you do it upside down or ink side up? Don't worry. It's okay if it happens. One of your gold stars folded. So if you did have a little bit of ink that pops up, yes, you can repress that. Okay. It's not going to harm. Okay. So if your shirt is a little discolored after pressing, if you guys are getting like it looks like a dark purple, or even sometimes it goes lighter shade. This looks like a lighter shade of purple. That is the moisture being removed from the fabric. Give it some time, a few minutes, and that natural moisture that's in the air will return back into the fabric, and then the color should be fine. This is a 100% cotton shirt. You will not see scorching with 100% cotton. It's a natural fiber. And you really only see that scorching when we're working with polyesters or synthetic fibers that can't stand that high temperature. So yeah, you just want to make sure that low temperature works great for those. But this is 100% cotton. We can apply it at that high temperature, and you're not going to see any, you're not going to see scorching with that. So if you do see some discoloration, that's the moisture being removed. All right. All right, if your heat press doesn't have a pressure gauge like that Hotronix heat press does, that's okay. There's a couple little tips that I can give you. Medium pressure, if I were to take, so you're looking for that 60 to 80 PSI. So 60 to 80 pounds per square inch. It's like you're pressing down on it with a body weight, right? So one tip that I can give you is, and we do have a YouTube video on our YouTube channel that kind of details this, but when you check your pressure, taking small pieces of paper, placing them in the corner, locking down, and if the paper gives it a little tug, but you can still kind of slide it out, you're at that medium to firm pressure. It gives a little tug, but I can pull it out with a little bit more strength. If you put a piece of paper in the corner and test it on all four corners, when you put a piece of paper in there and if it slides out super, super easy, then you're on a lighter pressure. You're going to need to up your pressure. Okay. Mike just put it in the chat, the video to test your pressure. So it's kind of an easy, just an easy way to see if you're at a decent pressure or not, that medium to firm. Again, you don't want it just to be able to pop right out, too light of pressure, right? And you also don't want the paper to tear when you're trying to pull it out. You want it to give you a little bit of resistance, but you're still able to get it out. Cool? All right. All right, guys. All right. We're going to move on. Go ahead and ask questions. We're going to make sure that you guys are applying these really well. I see a couple people are having some problems. So I urge you make sure that your temperature is raised up. Perhaps you might need to up your temperature a little bit more if the ink isn't sticking, right? So you might have to raise 5 degrees to start and increase that pressure, but you should be okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to move on. I don't see any more questions right at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. Take your time, everyone, and we'll get through it. Okay, so go ahead. Your gang sheet that is the Irish, it's in the celery screen print ink. Okay, this is the plastisol ink, and this is goof proof. This is not puff. So this is just a one color goof proof transfer. And again, it's on that gang sheet. You can fill as many designs on the gang sheet as you want. We have some samples. We did some shirt tags here at the bottom. If you would like to try your hand at branding your own labels. We also have 2 designs here that you can choose from, and also a couple extra shamrocks that you can play around with. So go ahead and grab your scissors and take some time. And we're going to cut off and get this gang sheet trimmed. Now, goof-proof transfers, they are printed with that plastisol ink, the same ink that's used in traditional screen printing. It gives you the quality, the durability, the opacity of traditional screen printing. You are creating screen printed garments with your heat press. So it gives you that ability without having to outsource it to a screen printer, or maybe you're a screen printer yourself and sometimes the transfers, it's just easier to have somebody else screen print them and then you can have them on hand on release papers and apply them to the types of fabric or the different types of items that you want to apply them to. You get so many more options and more flexibility with screen printed transfers. So, and then we're going to cut off, okay. We're going to cut off the shamrocks. And then there's 2 designs here. So we have 2 designs. We've got our shirt tags. We've got a couple extra shamrocks. So we're going to grab our hoodie, right? You're going to have your hoodie. We're going to have our designs. You can think about how you want to decorate it. This can be your time to get creative with your shirt. It doesn't matter to me where you decorate things and where you want to put it or which design you choose, but we're going to, I'll do that stay lucky there on the front. I just want to have a plan of action, really. We're going to do that lucky there on the front. We're going to do, I believe we're a large, so I'm grabbing the large shirt tag and I'll show you, yep, large. We'll show you how to add a tag there. And then your shamrocks. You can do some different options with the shamrocks. You can put them on the pocket. We can decorate the sleeve even, or the back of the hoodie, even the hood. So a few options there. We're going to get creative. I'm going to go ahead and we have our hoodie. I am going to get that quick slip pad protector back on there. If you don't have one, you don't have to have one. It's not needed for the application, but it does make sliding on and off the shirts and the hoodies so much easier. Nice slide. Makes it nice and slippery so you're not tugging on the fabric at all. Okay, guys, a jersey hoodie here. We're going to get creative. You can either, if you don't have a heat press that threads, you can lay your hoodie down here and get your hood and pull the strings out. Don't let those go underneath the fabric. You want to pull those out and get them off of the press so that we have a nice flat surface. The next thing you're going to need is the mouse pad. So we need our mouse pad because with the heat press, we need a firm, even pressure across our entire print surface. when we work with apparel items like hoodies or some uniforms even, we have seams, we might have piping, buttons, zippers, any type of obstruction that is causing uneven pressure on our print area. We're going to need to make sure that we have a solution for that. The mouse pad is one of the cheapest, easiest solutions for raising your print area. It makes it so easy. So we have our hoodie here with our pockets, our seams, all of that. Simply by putting the hoodie, or I'm sorry, simply by putting the mouse pad underneath the hoodie, just like that, up in the center where our print area is, it is raising that print area above any of the other obstructions that we have on the shirt. So we get that mouse pad in the area that we need it. And because the mouse pad is thicker, and so is the hoodie from the t-shirt that we were just decorating, you're going to need to loosen up the pressure to still have that medium to firm pressure. So on the Hotronix Auto Clam, I'm loosening up the pressure, and I'm going to lock it down to test my pressure. I'm not able to lock it down, so I know that I'm going to need to loosen it more. It's all about getting that right pressure, locking it down. Again, we need to between a 6 and an 8. So we were there, right where I was at a 6. We're good. And then we need to make sure on your instruction sheet, you still want to be at that 365 degrees, and you want to be at 4 to 6 seconds for a 1 color transfer. So I'm just going to make sure that my heat press is at the 4 to 6 seconds. I'm at the 6 seconds there. Okay. I'm going to lock down, do the pre-press, get out of the 4-second pre-press setting. And then we're going to take our first transfer. I'm going to do the Stay Lucky design here. Again, Plastisol ink. We can just flip it over. Make sure that your design is on the mouse pad and not overlapping the edges at all, because we want to make sure that it's on the mouse pad. And then when you are ready, okay, go ahead and lock it down, 6 seconds, super easy. And then go ahead and peel it off, and you've got your screen printed hoodie. Okay, here we go. I saw a question. Why was the cover not required for the puff but needed for the goof proof? It is not needed for the goof proof. I will explain. I like to put that cover or the slip cover on there. It makes loading on and off. It slides so much nicer. Or when you open up the hoodie, and if you thread this is called threading your apparel. So if you thread it on the platen like that and you work upside down, it just makes it sliding on and off so much nicer. So it's not needed. You can certainly do it without the lower platen cover, but it's not needed. So the reason why I did take it off for the puff is because it stops the puff from puffing. Not sure the scientific reasoning behind that, but through testing, through research, all of that, the lower platen cover is usually the culprit of puff inks not puffing, and moisture. There's a couple of things, but yeah, you want to make sure that you don't have that lower platen cover. We do list it on the instructions. When you order a puff screen printed transfer order, you're going to get instruction sheet, and it does include on there to remove any lower platen covers. All right. I have a 15 by 15 press, and the pocket does not rest on the platen. Do you still need a mouse pad? No, you don't. If you are getting that nice even surface with no obstructions, you don't need a mouse pad to raise up your surface area. Great question. We're only using that mouse pad because the bigger press, we were not able to get that pocket off of the platen. Great question. Okay. When doing plus size apparel, what size graphic is recommended for pressing? So I usually stick to that same design, especially when you're doing a group. I do that same size design, 11 inches, 11 and a half, maybe 11, between 11 and 12 inches, right? So 11 is our standard size for regular size apparel. If your market tends to go for a higher size, then I would recommend bumping up to that 11 and a half, 12 inches as your standard print size. But if you do a wide variety of sizes, 11 inches tends to cover a majority of them, right? I would say if you're only going down to like little kids, smalls, then you might need to go down to 10 and a half or 10. But generally, that 11 and a half, the 11 inches standard size covers a majority. But yeah, if you do have clientele that wears larger size apparel, then you can bump that up. All right. Can you show how to press the label and the tag? Yes. Good question. Okay. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this. We do have a hoodie. So the easiest way that I would do is turning it inside out. Okay. Do a thread on the platen. Okay. You can tear off the tag. Grab your, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Grab your transfer. I already pre-pressed this. I don't have the mouse pad in there, so I'm going to check my pressure. I need to increase my pressure because I took that mouse pad out. I don't have any obstructions on this side of the fabric, so I'm not using the mouse pad. Making sure I've got a medium to firm pressure, which is a 6 to an 8. I'm at a 6 now, a 5. So it's going back and forth between a 5 and a 6. So I'm just going to do a little quarter of a turn there. Okay. All right. So then you take your transfer, just like we did before with the other ones, place it on your apparel right underneath where that tag was, and lock down. So you can do this with a few different ways. You can use a mouse pad and peel it off, and you got your inside tag. Okay, so that's inside out. But then, let's put it back right ways. I'm going to have green hoodie fur all over. Okay, and then yeah, you have your tag then on the inside. Okay. You can also utilize your mouse pad. If you don't have a way to thread that hoodie like that, you're going to have to do some maneuvering of your hoodie, right? And if we were doing it with the mouse pad, I would cut the mouse pad and place it underneath a smaller size, and do some finagling of the hoodie and get some even pressure underneath the mouse pad. But the easiest way with just a shirt press, turn it inside out and thread it. Okay. All righty. Okay. Now you guys have a bunch of other designs too. If you want to do some shamrocks, you can even do some shamrocks on the sleeve. Get crazy. You can do shamrocks on the pocket. You can do, let me set that down. The sleeve, I'm just laying down flat on the seam. Just laying it down nice and flat. Taking my shamrocks, placing my shamrocks as close to that edge Okay. And then locking down. So you can get creative with those shamrocks. Even put them on the back. There we go. So now we've got some shamrocks on the sleeve. Whoops, sorry. It's hot. It's still hot, guys. All right. All right, shamrocks on the sleeve. We've got our St. Patrick's Day wear already. All ready to go. Okay. How's your guys' turn out? Goof proof is so easy to apply. I can't imagine. I don't see any messages there. I think we're all good and caught up. If you guys have questions, go ahead and add them to the chat. Okay. And we can go ahead and throw away all of these like used transfer papers. Now, that's all good. We're going to take a drink. Cheers, guys. Toast, toast, toast. No, Charles, the mouse pad imprint will not always stay on the fabric. Again, moisture is being removed. You might get a press mark, but after washing and wearing, that will not be there. It really does, like, I can see it gets stretched. You might see like a little corner. All right, let's see. This one was done before. Sample. Yeah, sorry. Good. So that's a sample that we did in the past or recently, but enough time to give it some time to rest. Okay. So yeah, that moisture gets back into the fabric. And yeah, should be good. Okay. Let's work on 2-color goof proof, right? So we don't just have to get goof proof in one color. We can get it in as many colors as we need. When we're working with goof proof though, it is screen printed. So the number of colors matter for the pricing of what the transfers will end up being. So with screen printed transfers, the minimum order for screen printed transfers like this goof proof is 6 sheets. So that's the minimum. So if we had an order of this design, we would have to have 6 sheets, all the same design, all the same setup, right? So you can then add your colors. The number of colors also affects the price. So a 1-color transfer is less expensive than a 2-color, and so on and so on. So the more that you add colors, the more expensive it'll be for screen printed transfers. With goof proof, it's usually used with your 1 and your 2-color orders or your designs, 3 colors even. If you are looking for a larger color count or even a full color transfer, we do have that available too. And you would look at the Ultra Color line, Ultra Color Max or Ultra Color Pro. The screen printed transfers are printed differently. They're screen printed with the Plastisol ink, same ink as screen printing. The Ultra Color Max, for instance, is a direct to film heat transfer. So a little bit different printing processes, pricing structures, they're different. So when you are going and seeing which type of transfer is the right one, which one do you need, we'll take a look at pricing. And we also have a handy chart available for you if you do get stuck along the way that kind of lists out in a grid format which type of transfer or which type of printing method is best for the job that you're doing, depending on how many colors are in your design and how many transfers you need overall, okay? So we do have it's called a what to use when chart, which transfer to use when. So that's available if you do get stuck of which type of transfer, because there's a lot of options out there. I totally get it. Screen printed transfers, goof proof specifically, you're going to be using for a good 80% of your 1 or your 2-color orders, right? So we have our goof proof transfer. Grab your scissors and go ahead. We're going to go ahead and trim our designs off. We have a couple of designs on here that you can play around with. but go ahead and take your scissors, give it a nice little trim. We've got the eggs here, and then there's like a little bunny and an egg here over on the side. I'm going to trim those off. Okay. So yeah, we've got our bunny kisses and Easter wishes. We have the eggs, and then we have this one. These were printed in eggplant and raspberry ink colors. And then this design here is QHL 157. Okay. Oh, Michelle asked, are you going to go over the Ultra Color Max pressing? No, not today. I don't have Ultra Color Max in front of me here, so I won't go over that, but we do have some videos available. I saw Mike put that up in the chat. And then we have done Ultra Color Max before in previous Toast to Transfers, so you can always like rewatch those. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just reading the chat, making sure I'm caught up. For the puff transfers, does it matter if you thread the garment or not? No, it does not. If you're doing the back of the hoodie instead of the front, what is recommended in the distance to place so that the hoodie doesn't affect the design? 5 to 6 inches, I would say for that one. Yeah, 5 to 6 inches. Okay, good. All right, Grace. We've got our last transfer to press. So easy. We are going to, it's a 2-color transfer. So on your application sheet, you will see that for that 2-color transfer, we have the same temperature, 365 degrees, but we're going to up our time. So instead of the 6 seconds, the 2-color screen printed transfer needs 10 seconds. And like I said, we give you the application instructions for all of the transfers. Every time you order, you'll have the application instructions for that specific transfer that you're ordering, so that you shouldn't, when you go to apply them, you'll have that instruction sheet in front of you. If you do, or if you're like, I don't know what application instructions you're using or why, we always give you that application sheet with every order, so not to worry. Follow the application instructions and you guys will be all good. Okay, we've got our heat press up. We've got our ring spun Port and Company fan favorite shirt here. And then I am going to go ahead. Are we good? Good. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and line it up. Again, the lower platen cover does not matter whether you have one on or not on with the goof-proof transfers. We just know for puff, we have to take it off. So we're going to lock down 4-second pre-press. My pressure is still at the 7. So I'm already at a medium to firm pressure, which is awesome. You grab your transfer, ink side facing down. You can do your 3-finger check from your collar to the top of the design. So we can take a look at where the top of the design is. 3 fingers from the top of the design. And then once you're ready, guys, go ahead and lock it down. "10 seconds for that 2-color goof proof and hot peel. Peel it right off. You don't have to hesitate at all. Go ahead and peel. And you have your screen printed Easter shirt ready. Okay. Very nice. How you guys turned out? All right. Port and Company is equivalent to Gildan. Yeah. It's very comparable. Pricing wise, it's less expensive. Yes. So it's a great option for a lower cost, inexpensive, and they're so soft, especially these ring spun ones, super, super soft. But yeah, it gives you that nice quality garment though for a lot less expensive. We use these Port and Companies a lot. District style from Transfer Express Apparel. We use the district styles a lot also. PC 450, PC 150, those are all great options, okay? Those are our favorites for the Port and Company line. Yeah, the ring spun. These two shirts were both ring spun, but so soft and comfortable. Now, Dave did a comparison video on our YouTube channel with the Port and Company, some styles, some of his favorite styles. He even puts them on and models them for you. So go check out that video because it gives you a really good visual of what the different apparel items are. So those videos are always really, really helpful, especially if there's so many apparel options out there. But yeah, take Dave's word for it. Try those out for yourself also. But these from the Toast to Transfers kit, that's why we do this Toast to Transfers, is to give you guys some different apparel items to try and to feel and to try to print to see how it works on your guys' end and to show your customers what the best options are. So, all right. Bunny kisses. You guys can get crazy and apply something else too. You can do the back of the shirt. With the screen printed transfers, just a quick note, we applied the front. I can flip this over immediately. Get out of my 4-second pre-press. And you can go ahead and apply a transfer on the back without it affecting the print on the front. So you can press some fronts and backs with goof proof so fast. Peel on the back. Easter. Are you guys excited for spring to come? I don't even feel like we had very much of a winter here in Ohio. We got a couple inches of snow, but not too much. Okay, is there a reason to not have the collar on the platen? Yeah, I generally thread it as it helps me center, the shirt. So the reason we don't have the collar on the platen is a pressure issue. So that collar is those thicker seams, and having those thicker seams could cause some pressure unevenness, I should say. So you might have a lot of pressure in one area and not as much in the other area that doesn't have that obstruction. And then you're also going to sometimes get a press box more so on the collar part. That's more visible that way. So that's main reasons why we take that collar off of the press, the pressure and to avoid those press marks on the collar. But I think the pressure is the most important thing. Okay, great. So now you guys have some extra samples to play around with, right? You guys can apply them to some other apparel items that you have on hand or different areas on the shirt. Show your customers that there's different placements that you can do with heat printing, right? Okay, so one of your designs is slightly off center. Is there a way to get the design off and redo it? No. Unfortunately, with the screen printed transfer, as with traditional screen printing, it is pretty permanent. And there is unfortunately no way to get it off of the apparel items other than layering maybe another transfer on top of it and covering it. Could cause some thickness, it might be thicker. But unfortunately, once it's on there, it's on there. So that would be just a learning experience for the next time around of getting your design straight and centered. Sometimes if we have a gang sheet and we have a little bit more room, a little bit more blank space on this side, I'll go ahead and trim or find the center by folding the design, holding it up to light, and doing a quick little crease so that I know where the center is on every transfer. Okay. So you notice that some of to thread a tee and some don't. So puff is the only one that you have to thread. No, you don't have to thread puff. The only important thing with puff is to remove that bottom platen cover. So you don't have to thread it, but it is, some people prefer to thread it. Think it might help you center. It might help you get the other layer of fabric off of the press. It is quicker. So there's many reasons why one will thread or doesn't thread. The most important things is making sure that you have an even pressure across your print area. If you don't, if you have seams or buttons or zippers or cords or piping or anything like that, any type of obstruction, that when you press down on the platen, you might have unevenness of that pressure. You're going to want to find a solution like the mouse pad to raise up the print area so that you're getting that nice even pressure across the whole surface. They do also offer print perfect pads. Those are a little bit thicker, larger silicone kind of pads, rubber pads. Mouse pads are just an inexpensive option. Use ones that are not plastic on the top and then don't have a design. But Transfer Express does sell them blank like this. So if you are wanting to use mouse pads, I recommend the blank kind. All right, guys. I had fun. I hope you guys did too. We're going to take a last second toast. Thank you all for joining us, and cheers to you guys. Well done going through all 3 of these shirts with me. Hopefully a lot of you guys found success with applications. I know some of you guys had a little bit of trouble, but learn from these experiences, kind of tweak your application settings. If your heat press is a non-Hottronics, like I said, you might have to up the temperature and that sort of thing. But it's really like baking a cake. You want that right time, temperature, and pressure to get things nice and perfect for you. So learning experience, right? That's why we're here. So I appreciate you guys being here with me, and I had a lot of fun. Nick, I know, did. He's back there enjoying all of this. Dave is dancing. Mike's fingers, I'm sure, have been moving quick. Thank you guys for all of the questions, and keep them coming too. If you do have questions after we end the live broadcast, though, you can always email us, reach out to us on our social media channels, Facebook and Instagram, because we're always there to help. We're happy to help any questions you guys have, okay? And if you are watching and you didn't get a kit, you don't have the kit, but want to, we do still have some available. So you can order a kit, go back and rewatch and apply it with us on the replay. But there are still Toast to Transfers kits available. All right. And what else? Oh, new puff colors. I did tease those new puff colors that are coming out. 14 new puff colors. Keep a lookout again for in your email. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and all that, and we will notify you guys all about it. All right. All righty, guys. All right. I think we had fun. I had a blast. It was a great time seeing you all here and chatting with you. Go have fun. Hop on over into Easy View, play around with some designs, and get your transfer orders ready for all of these spring events that are coming up. They're going to come up super fast. So whether you're decorating for Easter, Easter egg hunts, breakfast with the Easter bunnies, or any type of events like that, fundraiser, run walk events. I know there's always reverse raffles around Mardi Gras season and St. Patrick's Day tournaments, baseball tournaments, all of that. There's so much going on for the spring holidays that there's so many opportunities for you as decorators to get out there, see what customers that you can attract, and that you can print their screen printed apparel for. So there's so many opportunities. These are just a couple of the ways that you guys and the events that you can decorate for. So hopefully this showed you some examples and gave you some inspiration to go out there and sell more custom apparel for the spring events. So, all right, guys, it's always fun. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Loretta, for coming. Don, appreciate you all. Kathy, thank you for coming. We see you guys next time for the next round of Toast to Transfers. We'll see you later. Happy pressing.